life of you. Day in the life of you.
Rasta man lives by the tide, casting his net while the sun takes a ride. Salt on his skin, waves in his hair, catching dreams in the ocean air. King of the sea, rolling so.
Yeah, man, give thanks for this day. It's the next day in paradise, you know. We're here today making traps. That's another episode of we teaching you guys in JA how we sustain ourselves and how we're surviving, you know. So today we're gonna build some traps, you know. Well, this trap, first and foremost, we take our tape and we do some measurement. So as you can see, this strap is 8 feet long. So that's one. This is gonna be like the cover of it. So this part is gonna be the top off and this is gonna be the bottom off. And over here, as we can show you, we're gonna cut it. We're cutting the wire and making the next segment. So we're here building traps today. Next day in the fishing adventure as a life as a fisherman slash farmer. Yeah, man. We're here getting the wire pulling, joining together. So we're here shaping the pot. So this is how we close the wire with our pliers. Make sure everything is locked up nice and tight. And so we cut the wire like this and we fold it under. Get our pliers and we're getting it up and running, man. Yeah, man, you know, we're in Trelawney, Duncan's, Silver Sand, you know, we're down on the beach building traps.
Rasta man lives by the tide, casting his net while the sun takes a ride. Salt on his skin, waves in his hair, catching dreams in the ocean air. King of the sea.
This is called curlew. In Jamaica, we call it curlew. Some in other places they call it bees bush because the bees, they will take these pollens, these pink pollens, so they call it the bees bush. But this herbs now is very good. It's an all-purpose herbs. It's good for cold. A lot of people will have flu. You get up in the morning and you make a fold this up like this, and you make sure You get a pot, wash your herbs. These herbs you can boil it straight away. A lot of herbs, before you boil herbs, you gotta leave the herbs out for like 3 days before you boil the herbs. Because a lot of time the herbs during certain moon phase, they got certain toxin in it. So you have to release the toxin within 3 days. You can boil and drink. But this herbs is a herb you can boil straight out of the, just pick it straight off, wash it and put it in the pot. It's called Carolina / bees bush. You know, so this is a good cold remedy for all the people. They got migraine, it's good for that. It's good for upset stomach. It's good for cramp. You know, it's a very good tea, you know. It's good to clean your glands. It's good for ladies who have block in the tubes and all of that. So this is a good herbs to drink. You know, man, it's a very multi. A lot of people take this herb simple, but it's very powerful, you know. Yeah, man. So take a note out there, curly, and drink some. Find it and drink it. Imar, man. On the ocean, man. Yeah. We're doing it, man. Yeah.
Oh, Mother Rasta man lives by the tide, casting his net while the sun takes a ride. Salt on his skin, waves in his hair, catching dreams in the ocean air. King of the sea, rolling so free. Always smoking a big one under the tree. From a fisherman Jamaica.
So the storm take away a lot of traps, but you see we're working. It's a lot of work, man, to get them back up and running. You know, it's not really something that we have a machine could just put them in and just doing it, you know, and then you're doing it the traditional way, you know, because you're maintaining your roots. You know, so this is the way we have to do it. We used to have like 25 traps before the storm came. So what I will do, like every month I will build like a certain amount, because I know like every now and then I have a certain amount is going. So I'll build 3 or 4 traps every month to replace what the one them that's going, to maintain 25 traps to do my living, to sustain my living, you know. But the storm now take everything. So this is just a piece of wire that I have was laying around. So I'm trying to build a trap out of it. So this trap is gonna be like 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, and it's gonna be like 2 feet high. Normally I build them like 8 feet high, wide, long, 5 feet wide, and 3 feet in height. So it's more out of my comfort level, you know. So, but I still have to do it because I have this wire laying around, and Melissa the storm teaching me how to use what I have to try to sustain myself, you know. Yeah, man. So it's been a rough time getting back on feet, you know, but never give up the fight, you know. Still pushing on through, you know what I'm saying? Because the fight is real, man. And we are brought here from Africa on the slave train, you know. Trelawney, in Falmouth, where they have the shipping pier right now. Used to be the whole pier that used to be one of the main port where slavery was where our ancestors came down on the slave trip. Falmouth used to be one of the locations where all the slave master from off the plantation. So right now I'm in Duncan's Bay. Duncan's Bay used to be a plantation, back in the days. It's called Johnston property back in the days. So I'm sitting on a plantation right now, working. Silver Sand is over there. That's Silver Sand Estate. So Silver Sand Estate is one of the ancient plantations still around. Estate means plantation. So we still have these monarchy sitting amongst us. We still have the remnants of our ancestors among us, all these pathways are all properties where our ancestors used to farm on. My slaves that came down here on the plantation. On the next side over, you have Stewart Castle. You have like 5 great houses around there. So you can see over there you have Minion property. So you have 1, 2, 3 plantation. And I'm in the middle, And this plantation take a lot of lives. These plantation, they put my ancestors through a lot of, even Jamaica right now, even the food that Jamaicans eat, it's slavery. It's the pig head, the goat head, the intestines, the feet. Look, it's Jamaican favorite food. The intestine, tripe and bean. The goat head with the feet and the intestine, they call it manish water. Everybody loves cow head. They cook cow head with beans. They cook the cow feet with beans. They cook the pig's feet with beans. They eat the hog head. That's what I'm saying. The guys, they love the pig head because all these were carcasses thrown down from when the slave master on the plantation, he kill any animal, eat the best part of it. And he would hand down the carcasses to our ancestors. And even though in present moment in Jamaica, we're still eating slavery food. And it's our national foods, food that we love so much. The chicken feet, just imagine. And then what they did on the plantation, they split us. So you have 2 set of slaves in Jamaica. You have the house slaves and you have the field slaves. Right now, house slaves, they are running the country. You know what I'm saying? They will, once in Jamaica, you're a field slave and you're a rebellion. Look at our ancestors. They were all warriors. And when they leave the warriors' descendants, they call them criminals. The system label them as gunmen, they label them as criminals, and they lock them up and they kill all the freedom fighters. All in Jamaica right now, all the field slaves, they're in prison. All of them. And when you look around, you see the house slave, them, they don't care about nothing. All they care about is to see their slave master come down and they want to greet him and to take what he has to give to them. They don't share amongst their fellow brothers. They don't give, But it's just history. And this is Plantation Trelawney, one of the biggest slavery plantation in Jamaica. Refuge, up there in the hills, there's a community named Refuge. You can look it up. That's community of all the fruits in Jamaica. All the foods you can think about is in Refuge. Because all the slaves them used to have to run away from Stewart, Johnston and Minyard plantation and run all the way up into the hills of Refuge to seek refuge. That's why that community name is Refuge. So this plantation in Trelawney. There's a cave in Duncan's Bay, right where we are, just like about 15 minutes away from us right now. There's a cave where the slave them would have to use that cave to seek refuge. So these caves lead out up into the hills. They have certain amount, different entrance. Some take you to the sea, some take you up. So these caves, they have little secret entrance. So you go to the cave and you see a rock like this mango tree, but right here there's a little entrance, and these slaves would have to go through these little entrance to make themselves freedom when they're trying to escape from the plantation. So this cave is on the plantation, and this is the only source that the slave, as a field slave, because as a field slave in Duncan's, you have a clock, and that clock, every time the slave them hear that clock used to signal them, because the slave master put the clocks them at the highest point to signify the slave them so they could hear it miles, to tell them when it's time to go to the work and what time to leave. So a slave would have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning and start doing all his duty. And then he have to leave and go on out in the farms. And he have to walk miles with shackles to his neck, shackles to his feet. And if he have a baby, his kids will be shackled to him. So you have father leading his young child, teaching him the way of slavery. So what I'm saying, and they shackle us, lead us straight up into the farm and work us all day. No food. So I'm saying, no water. And if we stop to take a break, they will beat us. That's what I'm saying. So these slave mentality, the slave them couldn't take it no more, so they have to use these caves to run away. And once they run away and move up to the highest points in Jamaica, they link up with the Maroons, because once you run away in Jamaica, at those times they used to call you Maroon. So a runaway slave is called a Maroon. So that's where the name Maroon come about. And that's how the Maroons of Jamaica, starting with Nanny and Kodjo, you have Taki, you have Jack, you have all these freedom fighters who fight and fight and fight, and non-stop until today we are still here fighting, because slavery still exists in Jamaica, as I tell you. Silver Sand, when you come down to Duncan's Bay, you look over there on your right, you see Silver Sand. And when you look, you see estate. Estate means plantation. And this plantation is where all the leaks of Jamaica come down and stay. All of them have cottages over there. So all the rich slave master kids there, they're still living in Jamaica. And they're still using the Jamaican people and slaving them by giving them underpaid job, inflation high, food price high, everything high, and the people them is getting underpaid. If you working and you're only getting say 5,000 Jamaican dollars a day, and you have a family and you have to go to work, your kids got to go to school, how can you sustain yourself when you go on this road to buy one lunch? One lunch is costing you $1,000. A drinks, a soda is costing you $300. See? And your cab fare. So, and if you're a smoker, you gone over $2,000, $3,000 for the day. And you're only working 5,000. So it's slavery, man. Slavery to the highest. You know? And that's why as Rasta we have to be self-reliant. That's why I have to do fishing and farming for a living.
Omar the Rasta man lives by the tide, casting his net while the sun takes a ride. Salt on his skin, waves in his hair, catching dreams in the ocean air. King of the sea.
Slavery in Jamaica began after Britain seized the island from Spain in 1655 and expanded it into one of the most profitable sugar colonies in the British Empire, built almost entirely on the forced labor of enslaved Africans. Between the 17th and early 19th centuries, an estimated 600,000 Africans were transported to Jamaica through the Middle Passage, packed into slave ships under brutal conditions where many died from disease, starvation, or abuse before ever reaching shore. The British Crown and Parliament sanctioned the system while colonial authorities and plantation owners enforced it locally. The monarch did not personally control slavery, but the institution operated in the name of the British state. When slavery was abolished in 1834, the British government paid the equivalent of billions of pounds today in compensation, not to the formerly enslaved, but to slave owners in Jamaica and across the empire, leaving freed people with no financial support and a legacy of inequality that still shapes Jamaica today.
Yeah, man, it's another day in the life with Captain slash Farmer, Big Spliff, you know. You know, today we're just doing the first phase of building trap. You know, stick around for part 2 of we completing the trap, you know. So it's a long lot of work, as I say, and we're just doing it. And you're here, one more day in paradise, man.
Omar the Rasta man lives by